My foster family of 11 years, whom I've loved as my real family, just told me I need to move out because they are not getting paid for it anymore and that fostering is a business. Posted by you/CandidSpot5015. I, 18M, was told earlier today that I need to pack up and leave by the end of the week. I still feel in shock. I was removed from my biological family when I was 7 due to issues with my parents. I was then placed in foster care, and I eventually matched with a couple, whom I will call the Peters. The Peters were always really nice to me, and since I moved in when I was pretty young, after a while, I started to consider them my parents. I called them mom and dad, treated them as my parents, and treated their biological son as my brother. I wasn't their only foster child, they also have a 9-year-old boy who has lived with us for a little over a year. I was never adopted by them. I know why, they live off the fostering allowance. This never really bothered me, because they told me that it didn't matter and that legality didn't make us a family, which I believed. I went on their agency's website earlier today, and I found out that they were getting paid at least £2,400 per month for me, or at least they were. When I turned 18, they stopped receiving the allowance. However, they applied for a staying put arrangement for me, which meant they would continue getting paid something as they continued to support me and let me live with them. It wasn't as much, I think it was about £1,000 per month. They told me they had it approved until I was 21, so I thought I'd be able to stay at least until I finished uni. Today, they sat me down and told me I had to leave. They said that fostering is a business, and that they couldn't afford to keep me on just the staying put arrangement allowance. They gave me until the end of the week, just 4 days. How generous of them. They said they need my room because they want to get a new foster placement. They literally told me it's not personal. Like that makes me feel any better. They said they would still consider me like a son, not their son anymore. Like a son, and that they want to keep in touch. What a joke. They chose to kick me out, an 18-year-old with no job, no income, no nothing, about to start university. Yet their biological son, who is 25, gets to stay. So yeah, I guess screw me, right? I'm just the one no one ever wanted. I guess I wasn't ever truly part of their family. Update same day. Okay, thank you guys for all your advice. Honestly, I was in a state of shock yesterday, and maybe I still am today. I wasn't thinking straight. I only slept 2 hours last night, so I'm probably a little delirious today as well. Firstly, I've contacted my personal advisor. He'll have an emergency meeting with me at 1:30, so I'll have more details about what's going to happen to me then. He'll hopefully be able to sort out emergency accommodation for me. Secondly, to those of you saying the Peters can't legally give me just 4 days notice to leave, I will definitely mention this to my PA and get his advice on it. I don't want to stay here any longer than I need to because since they told me, it's like I don't exist. They just look right through me. But I'm not going to move out until I have safe accommodation. I will outright refuse. I am not going to be made homeless. Thirdly, for those of you suggesting I contact my uni, I have an offer from them, but it's only conditional on getting my predicted A levels. Hopefully, I will, but since I'm not technically a student yet, I don't know if they will provide any support yet. Finally, I am also going to ensure that the staying put allowance stops. I will tell my PA today that it should surely be stopped if I'm not living with them. Luckily, I have some money saved. Some people here have said I should be entitled to a bursary when I start uni, and I'll have my maintenance student loan to help me. I've already started looking for a job. Second update same day. Okay, hi everyone, I just got home and I'm feeling incredibly tired, so this is going to be a short update. I had a long meeting with my PA, and he was very sympathetic and upset that the Peters are treating me this way. We had one meeting, then I went to get food while he spoke to the Peters directly. Afterward, I met with him again to learn everything that had happened. He's putting me on the list for social housing. I am hopeful that it won't be long until I am able to get my own place. I recorded the meeting because I'm so sleep deprived and have difficulty processing long discussions. I can listen to it again tomorrow after I've slept, but from what I gather, they will help me with rent costs, and I will also get some money to help pay for furniture and other essentials. When he spoke to the Peters, I don't know if he told them they had to keep me housed for a while or asked them to, I'm not sure, but they've agreed to keep housing me until the end of August, so at least I don't have to worry about everything happening in 3 days' time. He did tell me that if I feel uncomfortable, I can be moved into a youth hostel while waiting for a property to become available for me, but I said that if I can, I would rather stay with the Peters until I'm ready to move, even if it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. He also told me they will continue getting the staying put allowance until the day I officially move out, and then it will be stopped. On a completely separate note, my best friend and I had a huge argument earlier. He said I should be grateful that they kept me that long anyway. Like, what the hell? I'm not some sort of pet. He also said some other things, like how it's good that they're going to help another child like I was, which is true, and I get that it's a good thing they're doing to help people, but him saying those things makes me feel like I'm being crazy for wanting to stay like I was promised by them. Maybe I'm being unreasonable, I am really tired, so my emotions might not be controlled well at the moment. I am going to talk to him tomorrow after I've slept, and I'm hoping this argument will just blow over because I need him at the moment. I don't feel like I have anyone else. Ranting one day later. It never bothered me that they were paid to keep me before. Genuinely, it never bothered me at all. I always knew I was a foster child. I was about 15 when I learned that they were paid money to look after me, and I told myself it was a good thing. And it probably was. I got loving parents for 11 years, which is more than some people can say. I just never thought they'd make me move out when the payment stopped being as high. I found out that when I was still a child, they were paid £111.82 per day for me. That's £40,814 per year. I had never felt different from the family. I had always felt loved and secure. I don't understand why they have changed their minds about me. None of them will even look me in the eye anymore, and it's gotten to the point where I can't leave my room because all I feel is the absence of the love that used to be there. I didn't come down for any mealtimes, which was a rule that you had to follow before. If I didn't go down before, I wouldn't have gotten any food. But Mom brought it up to my room and knocked on the door to say she was going to leave it there for me. I've replayed that 100 times in my head to try and convince myself that they still love me. I called her by her first name when I came home yesterday. Not Mom, but Claire. She looked upset when I did that, and a part of me is happy about it, while another part of me feels cruel for it. I knew it would hurt her, and I did it anyway. In some ways, I wish she would wake up to the pain she's causing me. I hope she takes it back and says that it was a lapse in judgment, that she loves me and wants me to stay. But if that were going to happen, I think it would have already. I guess I'm not worth the £76 per day they lose by not replacing me with another foster child. When I feel bad about hurting them, I remind myself they're kicking me out to get an extra £76 a day. That's all I'm worth to them, £76 per day. Third update 2 days later. The Peter's son, Jamie, found my original Reddit post. I guess I should have been more careful with the details, but my mind was so frantic at the time of writing it that I just couldn't think straight. I'm not sure how he found it, but considering it has almost 10k upvotes and Jamie was the person who introduced me to Reddit, I guess it might have just popped up on his page. A few hours ago, Jamie came to my room. He showed me the original post and asked if I had written it. At first, I tried to deny it, but I'm an awful liar, so he just knew. He asked why I didn't tell him about this, and I said I thought he knew. He told me he had no idea and would not have supported his parents throwing me out if he did. He was told I requested to move out. He genuinely seemed shocked and appalled at the details in the post. Against my wishes, he shared the posts in the family group chat. He did this to defend me, saying, "Mom, Dad, I really think you should read this and see the impact this is having on my name." But I really wish he hadn't done it. They've both read the message, but neither has responded. I have not left my room since. I'm really anxious right now. I feel like I'm on the verge of a panic attack. Fourth update 1 day later. Should I send this to the family group chat? I'm scared this'll push them away. I just want them to love me again. To Matt and Claire. I came to you as a 7-year-old. A 7-year-old who had never felt love or affection or anything remotely nice. I was taught at a young age to fear those in authority and to fear the sudden changes in the moods of my birth parents. I was taught to bottle up my emotions and my pain and never show it. When I first came to you, my life was ruled by fear and anxiety. I know my behaviors back then were awful and a struggle to manage. I had been taught there were no consequences for some actions and firm, scary, and hard consequences for others. The worst part was that those actions never seemed to be consistent. I could do something one day and be praised by my birth family, and another day I would be beaten. Love was not something given, it was something earned. It was conditional and shallow. You both showed me another way. You showed me love and affection, and at first, it felt confusing and hard to comprehend. I couldn't see myself as anything more than a nuisance. I couldn't see why someone would love me. I couldn't understand why you weren't beating me. Do you remember me telling you, you can hit me if I am naughty, I won't mind? Slowly, you taught me to trust and love myself and those around me. You showed me that no matter what I did, you wouldn't give up on me. You wouldn't send me away or hate me. And I really tried to make you. I know that. I was scared. You made me realize that it wasn't my fault I was in care, and that I wasn't to blame for the things that happened to my birth family. You showed me appropriate outlets for my fears. You showed me love, compassion, and kindness. The first day I remember feeling truly safe was when I was sitting in your arms at 8 years old watching Shrek. I still think back to that moment. It probably just felt like another day to you, but to me, it is a core memory in my life. It's a moment that shapes the way I see myself. You sat up with me when I was worried about moving up to secondary school. You comforted me when my birth mom told me she no longer wanted to be part of my life. You were there when my first girlfriend broke up with me when I was 15 years old, and I felt like my whole world was ending again. You encouraged me to go beyond with my studies and apply to university. The most important thing you showed me was that I was worthy of being loved and respected. You never gave up on me. I am who I am today because of what you did. When I look at myself, I see compassion, care, and kindness. And in those traits, I see you. You weren't my birth family, but you were my family. My only family. I don't know what changed, I just don't. Why has there been a switch? Why have you gone from the loving and caring parents you were? When I leave my room now, I no longer feel that love and kindness that brought me out of the pits of despair as a child. It's almost as if you have completely altered the way you see me, and I just can't understand why. A few days ago, you told me I had to move out. You gave me 4 days notice to leave my family. You sent me back to feeling like that child at 7 years old. I'm not saying this to guilt you or to ask you to let me stay. That has passed now, and unfortunately, I don't think I'll ever be able to see you the same way again. I understand if you were hard on money or if you wanted to help another child like me. But why not talk to me? Why spring it on me and then act like I don't matter? Why tell me it's just business? Did you think that would make it hurt less? Since you told me, my whole life has been turned upside down, and I don't know how I will make it to the other side. If I had felt like this a few weeks ago, do you know who I would have gone to? I would have gone to you. I would have told you my worries and my fears, and you would have said the exact right thing, and then we'd sit together and watch some awful TV show. And now, I have no one again. I feel like I'm being told for the second time in my life that I don't deserve a family. And this time, I have no one to pick me up off the edge. That was always you, Mom and Dad. It was always you I could rely on. Why are you giving up on me now? 5th update 1 day later. My PA is allowing me to store my things I can't take with me in his garage. It's kind of him. He's found me a place at a local hostel. I'll get my own room, which was a big deciding factor on whether I wanted to move in or not. The hostel works with the local authority and houses a lot of care leavers while they wait for their own houses. I haven't sent the message yet, but I know my foster brother Jamie has seen it. Yesterday, I felt overwhelming emotions. Today, I feel none. I don't know which is better. I'll send it once I'm moved out. I have a room, so I'll be gone in a few hours. I still haven't spoken to them, but I just can't face it anymore. I am sick of being anxious and stressed about this. I guess they did get their 4-day notice after all. Edit. I have just left the Peters house for the last time. The room is ready for me at the hostel. I feel so weird and sad and lonely right now. I've ordered myself a pizza for dinner today, and my PA even paid for it. I just want to get in bed and cry. My head is spinning, thinking about everything I need to do. Wish me luck. Edit. I want to clarify something. I was hurt and in shock when I wrote my first post, but I want to make it clear that I was never eligible to be adopted. At first, the end goal for me was to reintegrate into my birth family. By the time we knew that was never going to happen, I wouldn't have accepted adoption as I wanted to keep my legal ties with my birth family. The Peters always told me it didn't matter that I didn't want to be adopted, and they loved me the same anyway. Maybe it wouldn't have changed anything, or maybe it would have. They were paid fortnightly for caring for me, and they would get £1,565 and 48 pence. That's £40,702 and 48 pence per year, which is about $52,295.77. I keep thinking about that number. Was that all I was? I wonder what I would change if I could go back in time. Edit. I am settled in the hostel now. It's not exactly luxury, to say the least, but at least I'm here now. I sent the text message, very slightly altered from the one I wrote yesterday, and then I left the group chat. I also posted it on Facebook. That was probably the wrong thing to do. I don't know. Final edit. This is going to be my final update on all of this. I want to put everything behind me. Claire rang me crying, saying she had no idea I felt like this. How? How could she not know? She said she was sorry and begged me to come back. God. How do I ruin everything? She was telling me all these things about how she regrets the past few days so much and wishes she could take it all back. I said this is not fair. She cannot throw me out and then call me crying. I said it's manipulative. She just kept saying sorry. She said she loves me and wants me to come home. Jesus. This is just a lie, right? She must have known. Am I the bad person here? I feel so confused, I don't know what to do. I just hung up, and then she started texting me, so I blocked her. But now I feel like I'm the bad person here. I'm so tired of this. Of all of this. I want nothing to do with any of them. I don't think Reddit is good for me. I'm not sure any of this is good for me. I'm going to delete the app. Sorry, everyone. 6th update 2 days later. When I brought up my concerns about them potentially doing to another child what they did to me, I was told they were going to be given extra guidance and support when children reach 17 or 18, to ensure everyone is on the same page about staying put orders. That's it. Nothing else. Extra guidance. That's all. Extra guidance. Is that even a slap on the wrist? My PA told me they were unfortunately within their rights to ask me to leave after I turned 18. I mentioned how they told me it was a business decision, and they said that unfortunately, financial considerations do come into decisions like this. Is that all I am, a financial decision? Does this system seem fair to anyone? I feel like I'm losing my mind. There should be more of a punishment for them. I'm not saying they should be banned from fostering again. I don't know. I still feel all in a tizzy, my mind just going crazy. I keep saying I'm not going to add anything else to this account, but I genuinely have no one else to talk to about this. Jamie, as nice as he is, doesn't understand me. And my friend just doesn't get it at all. 7th update 5 days later. It's been a little while since my last post. I'm not sure why I'm even posting now, I'm just feeling really depressed today, and I should be feeling happy. I want to get this out of the way first. You may have noticed I deleted everything on here, that was intentional, I want to move on. I haven't had any contact with any of the Peters family since Jamie and I had our argument. I don't want anyone to interact with Jamie if he posts more, he's just seeking attention. If people have a copy of what Jamie wrote, I would appreciate it if you deleted them or didn't share them anywhere. The stuff he shared about me was just to hurt me, it included some of the most shameful things I've ever done, so I understand if you don't want to support me after reading it. If you do feel that way, just know I'm really sorry for what I did as a child. It isn't who I am now, and it wasn't who I was then. I'm sorry if I hurt or misled anyone, that wasn't my intention. The Peters already have a new foster child living with them. I mentioned this before, but when I said I wanted it on record that they tried to kick me out with no notice, I was told they would be given extra guidance if they have a child living with them who starts the process of aging out. I'm of two minds because, honestly, I feel like that is just a slap on the wrist and nothing else. But at least someone will be watching over them in the future when one of their other foster children turns 18. I have some good news today. My PA got in contact with my first choice university, which is also the uni he went to, and he somehow got them to convert their conditional offer into an unconditional offer, which means that no matter what grades I get in my A-levels, I get to study there. I don't even know how he managed to do it. I am so grateful. He's also gotten them to explain all the support I'll receive as a care leaver, which is great. They're giving me free accommodation for the first year, which has taken a huge weight off my shoulders because I had no clue how I was going to get to uni each morning. They're also going to lower the passing grade boundaries for me in my first year, though I hope I won't need this. I want to get good grades, and they're giving me a starter pack of essentials for my first year. Even though all these good things are happening for me, I just don't feel happy. I'm trying not to show it, but I'm actually really worried about starting uni, and I used to have the Peters to help me. Claire especially used to give me a lot of emotional support. I really feel like I'm missing part of myself. I feel stupid saying this, and you guys are probably going to tell me it's silly, but the other day, I just went and watched the Peters' house from afar. They didn't know I was there, but I could see into the living room window, and they were just acting normally, with the new foster child there as well. I literally sat there for a few hours just watching. I really want to go and speak to them, but I know it's a bad idea. I shouldn't want them back, but I do. I feel really isolated, which is probably why I've come back here to post. 8th update 20 days later. I received a letter today telling me to cease speaking about the Peters online or face potential legal action. I wasn't even planning on posting from this account again. I haven't posted in almost 2 weeks and have no way of contacting the Peters, but they clearly watch this account. So I just want to put it out there that I will not be scared into silence. I will not be threatened or bullied. If I want to share my story, I will. I have not named any individual or family in any of my posts. None of my posts contain lies, and I have always spoken only from my own perspective. I don't know why you've sent this letter to me, but I assume you're feeling empowered by the fact that my official complaint went nowhere. However, I want to remind the Peters that I have a screenshot of the post Jamie wrote about me on Reddit, exposing my legal first name and confidential, private information about my life. I did not include this information in my initial complaint, but you know as well as I do that if I choose to pass that on, you will be in serious trouble. I don't want to be part of your lives anymore, and you clearly do not want to be part of mine, so let's just leave it there. Do not try to threaten me again, otherwise, I will expose everything I can. I will write a whole book about my experiences in care and publish it if that's what I want to do. 9th update 4 days later. I'm sorry, everyone. It's true that I am not a good person. I have done truly awful things that I just want to forget, but I can't. All your support over the last month has meant so much to me, and I don't think I would be here writing this today without it. I have done awful things in my past, really awful things I am so ashamed of. I wish more than anything that I could change my life. I wish I could undo the things I've done. People hear about my past, and they think I'm some kind of monster, some unfeeling freak. Maybe at the time, I was, I don't know. The truth is, I don't deserve all the love you guys give me, I don't deserve any of it. And no matter how I try to move forward, I know someone will always be there to remind me of my mistakes. It's so embarrassing to have people talk about your trauma all the time, and I know I started it by posting here. I wish I never did. I'm starting to think that maybe I'm having a psychotic break. I am really worried about myself. I hope you all understand that the things I did, that person, it wasn't me. It's not who I am now. I don't expect people to forgive me because what I did to innocent people and animals is unforgivable. I'm going to log off this account after today, and I don't think I'll log back in again. It's too embarrassing to see my past mistakes brought up again and again. I just want to be left alone and to forget any of this happened. 10th update 1 month 3 weeks later. Hi guys, you are probably all sick of me saying, this is my last post, only for me to post again. But I ended my last post in such a negative place. I wanted to give you all an update to A, say I'm okay, and B, tell you things are looking up for me. It's my birthday today. I'm 19. I'm just having a relaxing evening, and I might order myself food later, but I'm not sure yet. This is my first birthday without the Peters since I was 7. All of the Peters messaged me happy birthday today, as if I was just going to forgive and forget and message them back. I probably should block them all, but they message me occasionally, and as unhealthy as it is, I enjoy reading those messages. I don't know if the Peters still monitor this account, but they sent me a letter from a solicitor telling me I had to stop posting about them. I am calling them on their BS, though. University is going well for me. I am finding it hard, I won't lie to any of you. But I am enjoying it. I've made some friends on my course, but mainly with those who are living in my halls. I have my reading week this week, and I'm planning on getting ahead on my first assignment, which isn't due until January. But I thought it would be better to have it done earlier rather than later. I have a date next Wednesday. We're going to see Joker 2, although I have heard it's really bad, and I'm hopeful about that. I went on one date with him last week, and I really had a good time, the best time I've had in ages. He paid last time, so I guess it's my turn to pay now? I don't really know how it works, but I think that's right. I wasn't allowed to date other men when I was living with the Peters, so this is my first time in a gay relationship. I'm not sure why I thought I was having a psychotic break last time I posted. I suppose it was just because of stress. I wasn't, and I am feeling a lot better now in general. It's kind of embarrassing that I thought I was having a psychotic break. I hope you guys don't judge me too harshly for it, lol. This is actually going to be the last time I post on this account, at least for a while. I might come back and update you guys in a year if you'd like that. I'm not sure if you would even remember me then, but I like using this space to talk and vent when I need it. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but in my A-levels, I did really well. I was so proud of myself. I'm currently watching the Agatha All Along show on Disney+, although I pirate it, Disney doesn't need my money, and I am very excited for the finale on Halloween next week. Could people recommend some other TV shows or books to read? Someone suggested Lost, but I've heard mixed things about it. I really fought with my PA to get visits with Levi, the 9-year-old foster boy who lived with me at the Peters that I mentioned in my very first post. The Peters tried to block it at every chance they got, but I reached out to his social worker personally, who's a really decent guy, and he managed to get it pushed through for me. It's on Monday the 28th, and I am very nervous about it. It will be the first time I've seen him since I moved out, but I think the Peters will also be there, at least to drop him off and pick him up, which is going to be really nerve-wracking for me. I think they expected that I would just give up after they tried to block it so much, but I didn't, so I can't back out now. On the whole, things are going so much better for me now. I feel really good about myself and about life. I'm happy and hopeful about the future. Op in the comments. This message is coming from CandidSpot 5015. My real name is Richie, not Ollie, which is something my brother shared on his profile. His post was left up even after I reported it, until he eventually deleted it. I have been given a permanent ban for allegedly sharing others' personal information on my main account, but I have not shared any personal information that wasn't my own. This is unjust and unfair. I have submitted an appeal. In the meantime, my new account is u/CandidSpot v2. The only thing I can think of is that the Peters have reported my account to Reddit, which means they're obviously keeping a close eye on me. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, screw you, Peters. You will not silence me, I will share my story. Proof that I am who I say I am is on CandidSpot v2. Editor's note. The account u/CandidSpot v2 has now also been suspended.